Welcome to this special series on the Bossing Up Overcoming OCD show. I'm your host, Erin Davis, and I'm a former Army wife myself who had all three of her boys born in a different country. So I get it and I understand the unique challenges that we all face, not only as women, but military wives. Here's what nobody talks about: military life doesn't just test your resilience, it can amplify OCD tendencies in ways that can catch you completely off guard. And the research backs this up because military spouses are 24% more likely to experience anxiety disorders compared to civilian counterparts. Over the next few minutes, I'm going to be sharing why military life creates the perfect storm for OCD, the breakthrough moment that changes everything, and 3 key tips that can help you right now. So, military life hits every OCD trigger at once, and here's why the numbers are so staggering. First of all, there's constant uncertainty. Research shows that intolerance of uncertainty is a key factor in OCD development. You never know when orders will come, when deployments will happen, or where you'll be living next year. There's also the element of hypervigilance, and that's when you're very much on edge and jumpy and looking around the corner for the next bad thing to happen. And you're trained to be alert for danger, but OCD takes that and runs wild with it. And when you think about it, every time you move, you're always briefed on the dangers and the trouble you can get into. So, of course, there is a level of hypervigilance that is reasonable, but OCD takes it up a whole nother notch. So, there's also the isolation, because moving every few years means starting over with your support systems. Studies show that frequent relocations increase stress-related mental health conditions by 35%. There's also high stakes. And this may seem very obvious because when your spouse is deployed, you feel like everything depends on you getting it right, while they're also in a war zone or somewhere where they could be potentially being shot at. So here's what I've seen with my military spouse clients. Once you understand how your brain is overreacting and how you are stepping into that OCD bubble, everything changes. Let's take a Navy spouse, Jessica, for example. She went from having daily panic attacks at work where she was calling out sick, not wanting to go in, asking her coworkers, friends, and her spouse for reassurance that she wasn't having a heart attack, to then dropping her anxiety to nearly nothing, you guys. I'm not even kidding. Like for Jessica, she got to a place where she recognized that she's not having a heart attack. This was OCD tricking her into believing that she was having a heart attack. And so she was able to reduce those compulsions. She was no longer asking for reassurance. She was no longer checking her body for symptoms, nor was she researching on Dr. Google. And I say that very lightly, right? Because we all refer to Google as like the end all be all of knowledge, and it's not always right. But anyway, furthermore, here are 3 tips that can help you with your own breakthroughs. First of all, recognize your triggers. So maybe it's the PCS moves, maybe it's the deployment announcements, or their schedule changes, or, oh my gosh, it was always a nightmare trying to get daycare arrangements at a new post. So notice when your OCD symptoms spike around those military events, because nothing makes OCD worse than good old-fashioned stress. Okay, tip number 2 is examine the facts. Okay, ask yourself, would other military spouses worry about this like this much? If the answer is no, it might be OCD amplifying your concerns. And so therefore you need to lean into the facts of the situation. And tip number 3 is remember your resilience. And all of this ties in together because as a military spouse, you have a unique capability of resilience. Not every person on earth is as able to rebound with all the stressors as you are. In that act of resilience, think about those things that help anchor you. Is it the routines? Is it your morning coffee? Is it that typical, I call my mom at 7 p.m. routine? Think about those routines that help anchor you and help you maintain that resilience. Military life is hard enough without your own brain working against you. But when you get the right support where you're both understood with your OCD and the military life, healing happens faster than you think. In the next episode on this Military Wives series and OCD, I'm going to be talking about the pressure to feel strong and how it actually keeps you stuck. Until then, be kind to yourself and stay blessed by the best.